slightly lighter story, well, depending on how you want to look at it. But toy maker Mattel has released 15 new Ken dolls, which are available in 3 body types, you might like to know. Broad, slim and original. There's Geeky Ken. There are a couple of man bun hipster Kens. There's an African American Ken. One of them is supposed to be a Ken with a dad body. I can't work out which one that is because they all sort of look the same to me in terms of their body shapes. But gosh, Troy, interesting that Mattel have done this. You know, last year, I think it was last year, they released some variations of Barbie, including curvy Barbie, taller Barbie, shorter Barbie, different coloured skin Barbie. What do you think this says about the ability of corporations to, I don't know, adjust to different circumstances?
I am absolutely disgusted that you chose this as an issue for us to discuss when we could have been talking about the NBA draft tomorrow or the State of Origin last night.
Well, luckily, I get to choose what we talk about.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for me with both Ken and Barbie is that Ken doesn't have a dick and Barbie doesn't have a vagina. So think of the trauma that is causing to all our kids out there today. So beyond their body type, I think, you know, in terms of their basic anatomy, it's an absolute disgrace that needs to be addressed at the highest level.
Maybe they'll bring in a variation next year. What do you think, Joe?
I think it's the same problem, but multiplied. So instead of having the one idealised version of what somebody should look like in terms of the Barbie and Ken, now they've got 5 different versions of what somebody should look like. So
I agree with that, you know, because I was thinking, you know, I must admit, it will surprise many of you, but I grew up with a lot of Barbies, and I'm talking the old-fashioned Barbies from the 80s, you know, the blonde, big boobs, tiny waist, all the rest of it.
Happy days.
Happy days. And I never thought to myself, oh, one day I'm going to grow up to look like Barbie, because clearly I'm not going to grow up to look like Barbie. And it was quite obvious to me, even from that young age when I used to play with all my Barbies. So I don't know, like I think it's a great idea that they're putting out, you know, different body types, different skin colours and stuff. But I have a problem with not giving them different names because there's one Ken and there's one Barbie.
Yeah.
You know, now what they're doing is they're selling a curvy Barbie or a taller Barbie. It's all about Barbie but adjusted, and I have a real problem with that. Maybe I'm looking into it way too much, but
wouldn't it be really dumb to change the name? I mean, that's the main marketing pull of Barbie and Ken.
They can use like maybe do other names with a B. I
have a problem with the name. You know, broad. What does broad mean? Like broad to me is a euphemism. It's slang in New York for a woman, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or broad means like your big shoulders, like Joe and I in the rugby in the front row or something. Right. You know, it's kind of a euphemism for fat bastard, but they're not having the fat bastard.
No, well they don't. Right? Well, and I think it's supposed to mean that. But when you look at the dolls, the Ken dolls, like there's no way that none of them look fat to me. Anyway, maybe I'm just overanalyzing it. Maybe they're just overanalyzing everything. Joe, what do you think? We need to take a break. Stop the overanalysis.
No, well, I think psychoanalysis is where you should go to understand these things a bit better.
Yeah, maybe that's right. But look, the short point is, I mean, on one view, you know, I applaud Mattel for trying to be inclusive and increase their profits because of the fact that, you know, a lot of mums turned away from Barbie. I mean, that's the reality of what happened. A lot of mums turned away from Barbie because they didn't want to...
Do you buy your daughter Barbie?
I don't know if I have, but she's definitely had Barbies as presents. And she plays with my old Barbies from the 80s. I have no problem with it.
Would you get your son a Ken?
No. My son wouldn't be interested in Ken. He's interested in, unless it's a superhero Ken, which they probably will bring out. Anyway, I guess we should just wrap it up on that note. But as I said, you know, good on Mattel, I suppose, for listening to the market, giving them something they apparently want. We're always coming down hard on corporations, but, you know, maybe they're sort of doing the right thing sometimes. Anyway, we'll wrap it up on that note. Thanks very much for listening and watching The Third Rail. Thanks to Troy and Joe for joining me tonight, and we'll see you next time.